My name is Ruckus. Thanks for joining me. Please like, subscribe, and share. 10-8.
We have other information that we're not sharing, and specific to your question, Raphael, keep in mind that the likeliness of the possibility of more than one person. We're not saying that the voice that you heard is the same as this person here. This is all.
Well. Look who's back. The fat guy from Boston. All right, let me see here. I just wanted to play that up front, just so you guys could hear that. I don't need these anymore. Those things drive me nuts, to be honest with you. But let me see here. Let's get the background going. Get rid of that one. Okay, it's good to see you guys. Let me get this chat box worked out. I want to make sure that it's not covering anything that we have going on. Now, this isn't going to be a long live. Let me see. What else am I missing here? We've got that. Okay, we're good to go. This isn't going to be a long live. Okay, this is me showing you how I came to be where I'm at in this case. I've only been around since beginning of October. I jumped into this, and almost immediately there was movement on the case, and then there was the arrest of Richard Allen. But there's a lot involved with this case. Obviously, the thing that attracted me to this case, just for those of you who have never seen me before, is they have audio and video of this guy and no arrest for over 5 years. When I first heard about it, I was like, holy shit, what the hell, hello, just Deb, how are you? Just let me say hi to people real quick. Again, I feel like I'm on Romper Room. If they say your name, you go ape shit, CJK, what's going on? James Powers, Miranda Lee, how are you? AKA Radar, what's going on? Jumpin' Jack Flash, good to see ya. I love doing these lives. I really do. It's cool interacting with people live, and I'll try and answer as many questions as possible. Now, this is part 4 of 5, so there's going to be another part, but that part's not going to come out until one or two things happen. I'm really confident. Okay, I think everybody knows that about me. I'm confident, and I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. But until there's further arrests, or Allen pleads out, or goes to trial, which I highly doubt. Hello, Gail. How are you, dear? Angela, good to see you. But if that's the case, the 5th one's going to be pretty dull. It'll just be a wrap up. SP74, how are you? Deb's True Crime Notebook. Now, if you guys type anything long, just give me a second and I will adjust it. Todd, how are you? Purdue, one of my favorite people in the world. Say hello to Winston for me. Best dog ever. That includes mine. Marbles. How are you, Marbles? Miss Persevere, how are you doing? I hope you're doing better tonight than you did on your fantasy football. Turbo Time, what's going on? 63 Clocks, hello. Shadowbox, what's going on? I've been waiting for it too. I try and do as much vetting and researching as I can. And in mentioning that, I don't have sources or people inside law enforcement on this case. I use fellow researchers. I do my own research. I have former coworkers. Some people are still active, some people are retired. I speak with them. I go over everything. I explain everything. Hello, Susie. I explain everything to them. Sometimes I don't explain to them. I just bump raw data off of them, and I think that's where the problem is with raw data. If you show me what law enforcement's doing, I'll be able to tell you why they're doing it. And I know it doesn't sound like much. It doesn't. It really doesn't sound like much, but it's a lot. That's a lot of information, knowing why they're doing what they're doing, and they're pretty good. They're pretty good. What's going on, Mac Pigeon? You got a new profile picture. Love it. Very nice. All right, let me just scroll down here. Bossy, what's shaking, babe? Olivia 2, how are you? Nana 72 in the house. You know, I can actually bring this box down and I think stretch it out a little bit. All right, so that little video that I just played, and actually, you know what? I'm going to play it again real quick and just touch base on things that make sense to me right off the bat. I'm going to try and keep up with chat as well. I'm not very multi-talented, but I'm not good at multitasking, except when I piss and moan. If I'm pissing and moaning, I can multitask that, no problem. All right. Let's give this a quick play.
We have other information that we're not sharing, and specific to your question, Raphael, keep in mind that the likeliness, the possibility of more than one person. We're not saying that the voice that you heard is the same as this person here. This is all.
Hey, Reg Dunlop says that I am pleasantly plump. Do the initials FO mean anything to you, Reg? We'll get into that later. But yeah, I am getting fat. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, and I shaved. Everything. Shaved it all, man. Shaved it all. But I don't have, like I said, I have fellow researchers. I have like-minded people who do the same thing that I do. But I just don't take what people tell me and run with it. I vet it. I get emails, DMs, text messages, phone calls, you name it. I get a lot of information. So a lot of law enforcement's deal is time management. Hey, James, you have to know how much time to spend on a specific part of a case or a person on a case or a witness or what have you. You have to really manage your time well. And what's up, Mayo? Boston Christian. Steve is all I'm saying. And I seen you gave me a super chat there, Radar.
We
and
have
when I
other
get to
information
it,
that we're not sharing,
I'll read that
and
super
specific
chat.
to your
I just got a
question,
little thing
Raphael,
saying that I got the super
keep in
chat.
mind
I
that
appreciate
there,
that. I do.
likeliness
You're
of
awesome.
possibility of more
And
than
when I
one
get
person.
down to that point in chat,
We're not
I'll
saying
address
that
your super
the voice
chat,
that you
okay? I
heard
appreciate
is
it.
the same
What up, Frank
as
Meister?
this person here. This is all.
CCD. Anna, Ellie has made various comments about the voice on Libby's phone not being the same as BG or whatever. I have mentioned these things in comments and been criticized. They did say stuff like this. Anna, welcome to my world, babe. That happens to me all the time. Don't let it bother you. I, for the first time, and there's a few people in this chat that will be excited to hear that I got to hear the audio about 2 minutes before I came on live. Hi, Jody. And on that piece of audio, just to give you guys a reference point for this, the piece of audio that law enforcement put out, you know, the guys down the hill, it was pretty clear to everybody. Hi, Crystal Alley. How are you? Something to say. What's shaking? I like something to say. I do. She never disappoints me ever. She's she's a good person. She really is. She's a very good person. I'm glad to have her aboard. Jerry, what's going on? Camaro Leva 73. See, I get sidetracked. Mother of Dragons. I went right by you. See that? I get talking about people. That's what I do best. Run my mouth. Talk shit. That's what I do. Talk shit. But I got to hear that audio. And let me give you guys a little bit of backstory on this. Way back when that audio and video first came out, I was intrigued. Now, I know some people on a professional level that deal with this kind of stuff. Some of them are in law enforcement. Some of them are just in the music business and the such. And if I skip over anybody, hello, Cheeks. Hello, Louise. How are you? But I sent this audio, the best audio clip that I could get, right? Hey, Cleo. Tattoo you, what's shaking? I sent it to somebody. This person does not care about true crime. Wouldn't know a true crime podcast if it was pissing on his leg. Doesn't know about the Delphi murders. Doesn't know anything. I asked him to just take a look at it and tell me if he could pull anything out of it. Well, he did. He did. Okay, here is Super Chat.
We
Super
have
sticker.
other information.
I'm sorry, not a chat, a sticker from Gail. I appreciate it, Gail. It means a lot to me. That one must have snuck by me. I didn't see it. I still haven't gotten to radars yet. Winston sends hugs. Winston's awesome. If you guys can meet Winston, you'd love him. What's going on, Mark? Heading to a meeting. Gonna catch a replay. Right on, brother. Right on. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm interested in what you think. Lady Monette's Cafe. All right, I'm going to go by the chat here for a little while because I know people get pissed off. Hi, Katrina. People get pissed off because I get sidetracked and they don't like that. Not that I really give a fuck, but, they do make some good points. I am getting old and fat. But he was able to pick some stuff out of that audio. And what had happened was soon after that, CCD was shaken. Hybrid Pisces, how are you? Soon after that, a subscriber, okay, and you guys probably know him. He's been around in the Discords. His name's Charlie Murphy. He sent me a message asking me if I had seen or heard anything on that clip. Now, I didn't tell him that I was having it looked at already. I didn't see a need to. But now I'm glad that I did. Hey, Phil Bond. Well, what he told me and what my buddy told me were almost identical. They were off by a little bit. But Sharon Neff, how are you? And Jinx, I'm sorry if I missed you. I don't know how the hell I missed you. Okay, there's Radar's Super Chat. I appreciate it. For whatevs, but make sure it's spiked. Okay, I can do that. I can definitely do that. I think everybody knows that by now. Okay, now, somehow, some way, this information kind of got out. Because Rick Snay mentioned it the other day. But I was able to put my ears on it today. And again, I am not in competition with any other YouTube creators, any other channels, any other genres, none of that. I do what I want, period. So this is not a knock on anybody, but I just put my ears on it. Now, what law enforcement did with that audio, they wanted to share it with the public, obviously, right? So they cleaned it up a little bit. There was some things they did not want you to know. And here's just little things you can look at so you can understand where that's coming from. In over 5 years, nobody knew they had a bullet. But they did have a bullet. you know, and they modified uh, that video of the bridge guy walking to blur out the fact that he may or may not have had a gun. We haven't seen it in its original form yet, so we don't know what they did. But they definitely said they enhanced it. But it doesn't take much to doesn't take a genius to see that they definitely blurred out the right side a little bit. Jennifer, how are you? So, um, they took that whole audio. Okay. Now we do not know how much audio and how much video law enforcement has. I do not know, anyways, and nobody that's reached out to me knows, and I wouldn't be able to vet that anyways. Because if I called law enforcement, they'd tell me to go outside and pound sand probably. So, I couldn't vet that part anyways. But we know that they said that there was at least 43 seconds. Okay. So if the girls' voices are on that audio and it's only 43 seconds, Mommy Wolverine, thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's awesome of you. I thank you very much. Everything helps. I travel around, I meet with families and victims, and I actually work these cases. So every little bit helps. It really does. And I appreciate everybody that donates and that becomes a member of my channel and stuff like that. Excuse me. So what you can hear on this audio, now I've had somebody else look at it, actually two other people. They weren't able to come up with the same conclusion, okay? So I've got actually three. There's three people that have come up with the same kind of conclusion. Kishti, what's up, brother? So at some point, they took this audio. Now keep this in mind. If there's only 43 seconds of audio, and the girls' voices are on that audio after the down the hill, okay, if they went in sequence, that tells you that wherever they went was within 43 seconds-ish of the end of that bridge. Well, here's the thing. Right when I heard that audio, I knew that the guys and the down the hill were two different sections of audio. They didn't even sound like the same person to me. But then it dawned on me that one of them, thank you, Shadowbox. Oh, I like the mic drop part of that. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But to me, the guys always sounded weird, right? So I was like, is this another person? Whatever. Because we didn't have much to work with. Nobody had much to work with. Everybody's speculating. So, CCD, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you as well, CCD. You're the bomb.com. I don't know about that new picture. You look a little scary. But I appreciate it, pal. I really do. So the guys sounded different, okay? So after I spoke with a few people and they listened to it, some of them are in the business, some of them aren't in the business, yada, yada, yada. It sounds like it's an enclosed area, okay? So it doesn't sound like it's outside on the bridge like the down the hill part of it is. So one person, unsolicited, took that video, that audio, and worked it. And another one that I asked to do it worked the audio for me. And what they both come up to is very similar, okay? Law enforcement obviously took pieces of that audio from different sections and slid them over and pieced them together. At first, we just had the down the hill. We didn't even have the guys. But, you can tell, you can hear it. Anybody can hear it, that there's something in the background there. There's something going on behind. So what these people did, and independent of each other, hey, Lynn, how are you? It did it independent of each other, said that they muted something in the background and left the stuff in the foreground. The only conclusion could be is they didn't want to mess up the audio. They didn't want to delete anything. So once they were able to mute what was in the, the guys in the down the hill, and I saw that comment, Lynn. Let me put that back up. Yeah, let me put that back up. Yes, Doug Carter did say that. You came in late. Maybe you didn't see that video I played. I played it a couple times. Give that a watch and a listen. You have to consider everything, Lynn, everything. But I just finally got to hear it with my own ears. And in an enclosed area, a male voice says the word. Now it's a little garbled, but it sounds like get, but undressed is definitely there. So it's get undressed. That's what I'm hearing. And I'll clean it up a little bit more, and I'll share it with you guys in my Discord. And everybody except for Reg Dunlop, fuck him. He said I'm plump, so fuck him. But so it's there. There's something there. There's something there, and it sounds like guys get undressed. Okay. Also, there's also one of the girls' voice as well. Haven't really got a chance to put my ears on that part yet, so I'm going to leave that alone as soon as I do. But I've had 3 different people tell me that there is a statement made by one of the girls. So I got to hear it to believe it. Trust me. But it's there. It's there. They say it's there. I believe it's there. Absolutely 100%. There is no reason for, especially my buddy. He, yeah. Yeah. K-Babe. My buddy doesn't care about true crime. Doesn't know anything about the Delphi case. Could give 2 shits. Probably did it just to shut me up. But I've known this guy over 30 years, so I trust him. Shit, I've known him over 40 years, to be honest with you. But he's not a source. He's a fellow researcher, okay, that I vetted. I got to put my ears on it. He showed me how he did it, told me how he did it. Charlie Murphy told me how he did it. Same exact way, different programs. They use different programs. That's the only difference. Okay, now let's see here. So we've got the only new information we've had. Now, listen, law enforcement made it a point to say that this could be different people. Okay? Just because you're hearing this voice doesn't mean it's that person. You have to pay attention what's going across on the sides. The way they charged Richard Allen, they could have just charged him with murder. Because murder with kidnapping, still, when you get down to the kidnapping, to the aggravating factor, it still says, kills by committing this act. So they're saying that he did it. They're making it harder on themselves. Why they want to have to prove kidnapping when it's pretty obvious anyways? They feel it's necessary to. So that tells me something's going on there, right? There's something going on. Then they had everything sealed. Well, that information starts trickling out, okay? And things start coming to light recently. And I've been on this, for those of you guys who aren't familiar with me, I don't do really long videos. So they're not that long. If you go back and watch some of my videos, I've talked about 100% of this stuff already on why I think it's more than one person and stuff like that. I have a better idea of who's involved now. But I've been on the more people involved for a long time. Now, with every new piece of evidence that you get, that you vet, and you can see, what's up, Frosty? And you can see, and you have to put it together. You have to go all the way back to the beginning again. I mean, you can't just overlay it over what you have, okay? But let's look at, we all know that the index has come out from the discovery. Now, keep in mind, this discovery is 100% the prosecution's case against Richard Allen. That's all this discovery is. Anything that comes to light out of that, you have to know what you're looking at, and you have to know what you're looking for, and you have to know how to read raw data. And I've only seen the index, and that's only because it's been all over every place. And good Lord, that little 2-minute and 24-second video I did 12 days ago, day of the hurricane, people lost their fucking minds, man. I don't go on Reddit. I don't go on Facebook. I don't go on any of that social media. I don't have Snapchat, TikTok, Kick, none of that shit. What's up, Lone Pony? Necessary Evil, how are you? But I don't go on any of that. But it got shared and it got passed around. And some people are very opinionated about it. And I'm here to tell you, I said zero. I said nothing. I didn't mention any names. I said that I know, and I do know things that I probably shouldn't know. But I don't know them because somebody squealed, somebody snitched, somebody wanted to help me out. No, no, not at all. Um, if you know what you're looking for, it's right there. It's there for you to see. Oh, good Lord, I fucked that all up, didn't I? Let me see if I can fix that now. Oh boy, I'm so stupid. There we go. But it's right there. To me, it's always been right there. There's always been more people involved. Okay, you've got Ron Logan, who makes a false alibi, for the time when the crime was committed, before anybody knew there was a crime committed. They didn't even find the girls yet, and he was already setting his alibi. Um, I haven't tied him to the case. I haven't tied anybody to the case that doesn't need to be tied to the case. Okay, he could be a victim in all of this, for all we know. Somebody could have tried to set him up. Who knows? Who knows what the hell's going on? I went to Delphi. Hi, Carria? Oh, Carla. I'm sorry. Oh, that's funny. Yes, there's more there, Carla. There is more there. There's absolutely more there. But if you take all this information, right, that I gave on the last video, which is zero, okay, didn't mention any names, didn't mention nothing. Some people ran with shit. I did not get any. That video had over 3,600 views or something like that, and I got over 250 comments. And not one of them named anybody's names. Not one of them. There was some nasty comments, but I really don't give a fuck about that. Those people are you're wasting your time, energy, and a perfectly good curse word by trying to do that to me. I can't be baited. It's not going to happen. But there's been things that are floating around. And the reason I put that video out is I wanted to get out in front and let my subscribers know that there's going to be some shit, some misinformation that's coming out. And it is coming out. It's coming out now as we speak. There's a bunch of misinformation. Now, does that mean I'm saying anybody's wrong? No, absolutely not. I'm saying there's misinformation. There's people out there that are absolutely positive that everything that I say is because of misinformation that I receive. There couldn't be anything further from the truth. Nothing. Man in the mirror, how you doing? Couldn't be anything further from the truth. Hello, Angela. I vet everything. I look at everything. I check everything. This is not the only such a tease, Ruckus Lone Pony. I'm not trying to tease. All right, let me put the chat aside for a few minutes and focus here. I just hate to leave anybody out. I know people like to be included, and I don't mind at all. But we now know that he had a gun. Okay? So, that's something that nobody knew. And the point I'm making is that for over 5 years, nobody knew who Richard Allen was. Nobody knew that there was a gun involved. Nobody knew there was a bullet. None of that. But now so I came in right at the beginning in my eyes. I looked at things with the same fervor as the rest of them did. But, I hadn't been down all these roads. I was lucky enough to come in late and got to see all the rabbit holes that people went down and try to avoid them. That doesn't mean they were wrong. That just means that they were looking into something. You have to look into everything. But let's look at... This is part of the index, which was released. I didn't obtain this, from the backside or anything like that. It was sent to me by 5-6 people. Sent me this. But if you look at this, the index this is from the discovery that the defense accidentally sent to somebody, which is a crock of shit as well. But if you look, you got the the girl voice loop. Now we haven't heard that. So that tells me that my guy was right. The girls' voices are on there. So did they take that from a separate part of audio? Was it a part of one big audio or several audios that they cut and pasted together? That part I don't know. Well, then there's a male voice, then the enhanced audio, HD cell phone video, male voice loop, male voice loop. Now, the two loops could be guys, and the other loop could be down the hill loop. But they put those both together. They put those both together into one guy's down the hill, and they loop that over and over and over again. So there's two men's voice on that recording. There's two men there. Law enforcement has alluded to it. If you're paying attention, you can hear them say it. And like Lynn just said, Doug Carter said that, this is one man's voice. Keep that in mind. This is one man's voice. Well, you have to say to yourself, why is he making it a point to say this is one man's voice? Why doesn't he just say this is Bridge Guy talking? They're being coy. And then they say you have to pay attention what's on either side. If on TV you can't see what's on the right and on the left. And keep in mind, this audio does not mean that it's just this person talking. So you have to understand all of that and put that shit together. So this could go either way. All right. This didn't make me jump up and down and said, yes, that's right. Outside of the girl's voice and the girl's voice loop on this little part here tells me that they do have the girl's voice. All right. And let me see. This is the witnesses. Okay. Let me see. We've got Anna Spath, Evan Fritz. We'll get to him in a second. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do a video and why I put that video out a couple weeks ago to get out in front of that. So if you look at all these people here that are witnesses and you look at the dates when they were interviewed, if you go about 3/4 of the way down to L, you got Keegan Kline at Grissom Air Force Base. Now, if Keegan Kline was not involved with the Delphi case, why the hell would he be listed, his interview be listed, and I would love to see the transcripts from that interview. Why would it be listed here in Richard Allen's case? Why would that be listed? I've heard a lot of buzz about the AutoZone interview. A lot of people are talking about that. Evan Fritz, okay? Evan Fritz was at the trails that day. And there was a couple people that were involved with the composite sketches. Carl Albert, Daniel Pearson, Rayleigh Voorhees, Sarah Carbar, and Teresa Liebert. She lives down at the south side on between the bridge and 200. And she is the cause of the young bridge guy sketch. She saw somebody and she was the one that gave that. Now, I don't know if everybody knows this. Most people should know this. The young bridge guy sketch was actually the first sketch. The old bridge guy was the second one. For some reason, they didn't release the young bridge guy sketch to start with. But what the defense team is doing right now is they're trying to cast doubt on things. Why don't you look at this person? Why don't you look at that person? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? They're throwing names around now. A lot of people are throwing names around. This is the only one that I'm concerned with because this is the person that was the young bridge guy sketch. Okay? He's a victim in this. He's definitely not involved with this case. He's a victim in this case. But I wanted to get out in front of it so that his name doesn't get dragged around like some of these other names are getting dragged around. And that's Evan Fritz. That's Evan Fritz. That's who Liebert seen on the south side of the bridge that day. He was there. He was interviewed the day after, on the 15th. He is the cause of that young bridge guy sketch, but he is not involved with this case. He is also a victim. in this case. Now, what's another thing that would make me say, well, other people are involved with this, right? Richard Allen did work at Chrysler. A lot of people have put Keegan Kline, his dad, other people, Sons of Odin, um, other people trying to tie him into this case. Okay, this here shows you Richard Allen did work at Chrysler, and he worked there with some other people whose names are getting thrown around. Okay, and some of them are pretty curious that they're being thrown around. But he definitely worked at Chrysler in between Walmart and CVS. He worked at several different Walmarts, and then he worked at Chrysler, and then he worked at several different CVSs. So there's that. Okay, he did work at Chrysler, and there were some other people whose names are getting thrown around um, that worked there as well. And all I'm doing there is showing you that there can be a connection between Richard Allen and some of these other folks. Okay, if you look at the name Emily Ann, comes up constantly, over and over and over in this case. If you look at some of these people's names that are getting tossed around, they have relatives or friends that have girls named Emily Ann. I don't know how popular that name is. I don't know anybody named Emily Ann. Nobody whatsoever. But it seems to be a pretty popular name around there. It's come up many times in the case. It's been used for emails, screen names, you name it. It's been used in this pedophile investigation. It's on Keegan's transcript from his interview with law enforcement back in when he was arrested. So Keegan Kline is definitely involved. I think everybody agrees with that. To what extent? Who knows? He created Anthony Shots. I did a whole video on that guy. He created Anthony Shots. That puts him involved with this case, period. If you look on the index that's out there, I think it was on Facebook, there was a young woman who is an attorney or involved in law or what have you. She broke down each one of those indexes and what they meant. She did a great job. So if you guys can check that out. But I can, I'll put that in my Discord as well if anybody wants to see that. Like I said, I don't go around to these other social media sites. I don't do it. I don't do Reddit. I don't do any of that. But people send me things, as you can imagine. You know, hey, can you take a look at this? Can you take a look at that? You know, well, Anna, it's not popular to me. I'm not very familiar with it. But there's some people that I'm pretty sure are involved with this case that have ties to that name. So there's other ways of looking at things. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Like I said, you show me what law enforcement did, and I'll tell you why. I haven't gotten everything, but I have done enough. Let me look. Delphi Search for a Killer Facebook group has the index breakdown by the female lawyer. Thank you, Turbo. So if you go to the Delphi Search for a Killer Facebook group, yeah, you'll see that there. But I've been watching other lives and other videos, and there's some great ones out there, and there's some people doing some great work. There really is. Whether I agree with them or not, they're doing great work. And you know, I enjoy this. You know, when I had to put the uniform on and go earn money doing this, that's different. Now I do it because I want to. You know. Yeah, James, it just pops up everywhere. I can't tell you how many times that screen name came up, how many times that's been a password that's been found. Yeah, Frank knows. There's a lot of them out there. Now, you can't tell me that that's not tied into this somehow, some way. Okay? So, can Richard Allen be a lone wolf? Yes. Yes, he can. Is he? Nope. Absolutely not. There's more people involved. There's two voices, male voices on that audio. I just heard what the audio actually says. We've got a good point with James here. Burner phones, phones confiscated, pinging all over the place, phone calls made in the middle of the night, stuff like that. There's shit that hasn't been divulged yet. It's gonna drop, and there's, like I said, there's already bullshit dropping. There's already misinformation dropping, and I know that it's misinformation. Am I gonna correct anybody? No. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try and get out in front of it. That's why I wanted everybody to see this kid. He has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. He's a victim. He's a victim in all of this. And for those of you who aren't familiar with my work and you want to go back and search some videos, they're pretty well labeled, and they're not long. I don't like doing long videos. I know people would like me to do them a little bit longer, but I can only stand my own voice for so long, and I'm sure you folks can't stand it much longer. But it looks like we get 90 likes, 262 people watching. So that's a lot of lurkers. That could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. Either way, I don't care. I lurk a lot too. I try and jump in the chat as much as possible. But, oh yeah, Jinx, throw something to say's channel up there. Yeah, we can agree to disagree. Absolutely. Bill I Am, what's up? He may have, Bill. He may have, but he also may have been a victim as well. I have my own theories on it. I don't want to go too far in depth with it, but I have my own theories on it. I discuss a lot of shit in Discord and stuff like that. See, when you come on here, this shit's like forever, man, and people pick you to pieces. And I don't mind that. It's like I said, they're wasting their time and energy on perfectly good curse words when they fuck with me, because I don't care. I do what I want when I want. I have a permit for it. It says it right on there. I do what I want. So, but that's all I've got for right now. I don't want to bore anybody. I don't want to stretch this out any longer than it has to be. I do have some names. I do have some other information. But until there's arrest or some kind of action in the case where he pleads out, or if he goes to trial or what have you, I do not want to divulge any more information than I already have, and I'll share it as soon as I can. As soon as arrests are imminent, I'll throw it out there. And it's not a matter of being right. I'm wrong a lot. Ask my wife. I've been married 37 years. I'm wrong all the time. And it's not about being first. I don't want to be first. But I'd like to see if I'm right. So when arrests are imminent and when this chatter really starts, well, then I'll drop it. I won't feel like I'm fucking anything up for law enforcement. Yeah, exactly, Duke Nukem. Yeah, but why? That's the question. I think he'll plead out. I don't think it's going to go to trial. Oh, we'll know something to say. You know that. This case, I've never seen anything like it in my life. Law enforcement is doing a great job keeping everything close to the hip. They're not telling anybody anything, which is smart. That's what they should do. The clerks, on the other hand, diarrhea of the mouth. That's what's happening in that case. Too much shit gets out that shouldn't get out. And that's just my opinion, being around law enforcement as long as I was. And nope. And here's another thing, too. Just so you know where I stand and how I operate. Lone Pony, thank you so much for that super chat. And you are very welcome.
That we're not sharing, and specific to your question.
Now picture this. Picture a bunch of detectives sitting around
the likeliness and possibility of
sitting around a table.
Person.
And they're all working on the same case.
We're not saying that
and what they're doing is they're all threatening to dox each other, to tell everybody out there in the world their real name, or to discredit each other, or to undermine each other behind each other's back and shit like that. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. I'm not well versed in the YouTube streets in this kind of stuff. I don't partake in that kind of stuff. But law enforcement, detectives work together. Interagency. The U.S. Marshals are involved with this case. That tells you a shitload. If anybody knows what the U.S. Marshals actually do. Yeah, I don't think it'll go to trial either way. Yeah, but it's a sad state of affairs over there. It really is. It's a beautiful area. Beautiful area. But I'm here to tell you, too, there is no fucking way in hell that his plan was to kidnap those girls at the south end of the bridge and then walk them all the way back to the CPS building. That's just was not the plan. Jordan, what's up, brother? How you doing? Haven't talked to you in a while. Hope all is well. But that was never the plan. That's why this absolutely, and people can disagree. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. This is absolutely an abduction gone wrong. They were trying to abduct those girls. Were they targeting those girls? Don't know yet. There's not enough information. There was a whole bunch of catfishing going on. Nobody's disclosed or talked about what kind of catfishing was going on, what the girls were sending. Got a snake, how are you? What the girls were sending, what they were receiving. They didn't get anything too graphic on the Keegan Kline transcript. But all that's going to come into play. Sextortion, it's not hard to do, especially with these young girls and boys, for that matter. There may be young boys involved with this. We don't know yet. We don't know everything. But nobody's exposed or none of the information's got out exactly what was going on, what was transpiring back and forth between the catfishee and the catfisher. So we don't know that yet. And that'll play a big part in this whole thing. It'll play a huge part. No, TTM fangirl, she is not related to Alex Voorhees. And that's not a very common name either. No, I agree, Bossy. I believe you. I believe you. I met some great people in Delphi. Beautiful area. I love that whole area. But if I did not get to your chat, I apologize. I tried to keep up as much as possible. If I couldn't read them out loud, that's because I was doing other things, listening to other things, and looking at reports that are coming in. Because it's amazing. When you're going to do a live, nobody talks to you for like 2 weeks. And then 10 minutes before you go live, you get 85 people trying to contact you. But if I pissed anybody off tonight, I apologize. I didn't mean to. If I said something I wasn't supposed to say, I apologize. And if you're just pissed off because you don't like me, I don't give a fuck. But you guys have a great day, great night. Don't take any wooden nickels. My name is Ruckus. Thanks for hanging out. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm 10-7.